Hey folks, TechTucker here. In today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to go through some obscure Xbox 360 titles that you should keep an eye out for when you're game hunting. Not all of these games are necessarily great, but these are definitely more obscure and tricky ones to find. But there will be some good recommendations in here, but just on top of that, as I say, these are games you will not come across every day. So if you're in a charity shop, cash generators, even CEX, and you've got some vouchers, these are games to add to your collection while you still can. Okay, so first game on this list is Blood Drive on the Xbox 360. This game is published by Activision. This one is a tad more obscure for the fact that it's not too well known, but it's a pretty unique game. This one's one of the cheaper ones on the list at approximately £18 to buy out of CEX, at the time I checked this anyways. But in terms of this game, it gives me Twisted Metal / Carmageddon vibes, where you drive around, run over zombies, you name it, that's kind of what you do. It is pretty fun, it's pretty cool, as I say. It's one of those games it's not had too much exposure. I would highly recommend this one in the sense that it's a good, give it a whirl type game. I don't think it's something you'll sit and play for hours on end, but it's definitely a unique one, and if you're into car games, it's something you should definitely add to your collection. I do feel this one, since it's obscure and it's not all that common, I don't think I've ever found this locally in a CEX or anything. I have found it in the charity shop once on PlayStation 3. I ended up trading in because I had it on the 360. But yeah, I do see this one going up in value over time, so keep your eyes peeled for this one. The next title on this list has shot up in value recently, and it is Infernal Hell's Vengeance. This game is definitely obscure. I've only ever found one copy, and this is indeed the very copy I have found. It's a third-person action game. It's not the greatest. As I say, this is why I'm not making this a hidden gems list necessarily. This title is obscure. I think it's definitely worth a go just to experience it, but I would call it like the poor man's like Infamous. It's that type of game. Gives me those sorts of vibes as well when I've checked it out. So yeah, it's one of those where, yeah, the guy's called Ryan Lennox, like it's quite generic, But when I found this one, it was only about a year ago or so. It was like £3 or something like that out of CEX. Now it's shot up to like £30 out of CEX, and on eBay it's even sold for as much as £60. So if you find this one in the wild and you want to build up your 360 collection, make sure you pick it up. It's obscure, not many people know about it. And yeah, it's just one of those games that it's definitely a budget title. It's not like a AAA or anything. It might be not even a AA, I don't think, but yeah, it's something that you don't come across every day. So if you do see it and you find it at a good price, definitely snag this one. Okay, folks, so this next title right here is definitely a different one that I hadn't heard of until I actually found it. I found this one January in 2023 in a charity shop for £2. Had no idea what it was. Of course, when you find obscure titles, you have to pick them up, especially on the 360. This title is Grey Matter. So Grey Matter came out in around 2010. This is a point-and-click adventure game that's got some paranormal themings. This is not one I've played all the way through or anything like that, so I can't give an in-depth, analysis of my thoughts or anything like that. But this one is just something that you don't come across every day. And yeah, it looks unique. It's something that the subject matter is not something I'm overly interested in as such. I think it's something around like some guy trying to get in touch with like his dead wife or something like that. But yeah, imagine finding this one for £2 and now it's sitting at around £30 in value. That's doubled in value since the last time I checked when I got the game, which when I got it, it was around £15 or so. So if you are able to locate this one out in the wild, absolutely snag this one up, because it's one you won't be able to add to your collection later. It's already quite tricky to find. So if you do find it in a charity shop or something, make sure you pick this one up. Continuing the theme of puzzle games, like Grey Matter, that one is point-and-click adventure type game. This one is a different one where it's like, an action puzzle type game. And this one is Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. This one, again, if I'm to compare it to another title, it always gives me like Last Guardian sort of vibes, Troll and I if it wasn't complete garbage. But Majin the Forsaken Kingdom is one that's on the better end of those types of games. This one isn't perfect by any means, but yeah, this is just something that when I found it, it was maybe last year, I can't say for certain. This one was approximately £10 or so when I picked this one up at CEX. And now this will run you about £30 or so. I think on eBay you can probably get it for around £20, but I don't see this one becoming any more common because of the fact that I don't imagine this is the type of game that will get a remaster or re-release. If it does, then happy days, but that's something to factor in when you are building a collection. You want to get as many different types of games as possible, which is, you know, something I'm very passionate about on the 360, is getting so many different genres of games, because it's known as a first-person shooter machine. Because this game came out, I think this one was either 2010 or 2011, between like a Call of Duty title and a Halo title, so you were already, you know, in FPS fever mode, so this game definitely got overlooked at the time it came out, and I've not seen much coverage about it or anything like that in the past as well, so if you do walk across this one as well, highly recommend picking up for that, for the reason as well, it's not a bad title, it's pretty decent for what it is. I'm not going to be going about saying this is 10 out of 10 must play before you die, like add it to your bucket list, like that would be overkill for this title, but it's something that, again, if you pick up, you can't go wrong with it, and if you can snag it for £20, down in the future I can only see this one continuing to climb up in value. Now this next title is half the reason why I can't make this like a hidden gems list, but definitely something if you are a serious Xbox 360 collector and you haven't got this game, pick it up. Now excuse the condition of this copy, I'm not proud of it, but now that this game's increased in so much in value over the last couple of years, I'm not going to look to upgrade it, and this title is Neverdead. Although it's published by Konami, don't let that fool you. It is developed by Rebellion, who are famously known for the Sniper Elite series. This is like a third-person action like shooter type game, and it's not the best one. I would say this one's painfully average. Where, and like, you know, the main selling point is, I think, Megadeth. Yeah, Megadeth did like the main theme of this game, but you can see this copy in particular has had some water damage of some kind, probably sitting in a loft or something. I bought this out of CEX however many years ago for just a few pounds, so I didn't really care about condition all that much and never saw it going up in value all that much either. However, you can see the disc does have some light surface scratch, but nothing that'll stop it from playing, so yeah, you know, I'm not a condition collector and I think this certainly shows it. I will always clean every case. Anyhow, I digress. This title as well, this one, I think this one's now worth about £20 to £30 as well. I might be off the mark. I did check all these games values ahead of recording, but this one has just slipped my mind as I'm talking about it, so of course I'll show it as I'm going through. But yeah, in terms of this one, if you can find it, again, add this one to your collection. It's an interesting title. You're not going to see too many games have Megadeth do a theme song originally for it. It's developed by Rebellion, who, you know, are pretty well known for the Sniper Elite series and Zombie Army series as well, and they're solid games. And this one, while it's not as solid as those titles, it's not that bad. It just falls more into the average side of things. The main thing I would say I like about this game is its style. You know, the character designs and everything like that's pretty cool. It's unique. And I do like the vibrant front cover. Again, I guess the front cover shouldn't be a selling point of a game really, but back in the day, if I found this on a shelf for £1 or £2, I would have bought it, and to be fair, that's exactly what I did. But yes, if you can find this game as well, please do add this one to your collection. Alright, so this next game is definitely the most expensive one in this video. Do I see it going up in value even more? I can't say for sure. I've seen it go up, come down a bit, go up, come down a bit. This one fluctuates anywhere between like £50 to £100. So I managed to snag this one back in like 2019 at approximately £10 or so, and this is Tornado Outbreak. This one is in a fortunate position, where it came out on both the Nintendo Wii as well as the PlayStation 3. The PlayStation 3 copy I do believe is worth more than the 360 one, and the Wii one I think is worth even less, but I would always choose 360 or PS3 over Wii versions for the fact that they often have tactile motion controls and you're getting a HD version of the game on the latter platforms. So even if you plug it in the Wii U, it's not natively HD. But anyhow, this game is akin to, say, the likes of the Katamari series, where you go around as a tornado and destroy buildings and such. I have previously highlighted this game on the channel on my Rare Games video, basically when I started doing YouTube again. But in terms of this one, as I say, if you can find this one locally at a decent price, highly recommend picking this one up, because this one isn't even half bad. It's a Konami title. It's not one that you will see very commonly ever. This is the only copy I've ever seen and I've ever found, and it just caught my eye. This is the types of games that I do generally enjoy, is those cartoony mascot type games. They're typically some of my favourites. That, and I do like first person shooters and that as well. They're quite fun as well. That said, I'm terrible at mouse and keyboard. But yes, if you are able to locate a copy of this, again, this one's a good one to add to your collection, not only for it being a pretty decent title, You know, it's a good showpiece and a showstopper in the collection. Like, out of all my collection, I'd say this is probably the second. I can't put a definitive price point on this because it comes up so infrequently, but CEX currently have this one at £70. So yeah, if you find this one, you can either trade it up for some good credit, or you can have a nice star show, you know, star piece in your collection, if you will. Then this next title, I actually didn't even know it was worth anything, for the fact that I bought this game like 50p however many years ago, and I'm just looking at it now, and yeah, it's definitely a unique title because there's not many like mech combat games on the 360, and this one is Wartech. Senko no ronde. Sorry if I have butchered the pronunciation there, but yeah, this is a mech game. It's something that when I bought this, I swear down it was literally like 50p or something. I was just like, yeah, that looks kind of neat. It's not something you see on the 360 very often. I must have bought this one back in like 2018, 2019 perhaps. So I've had it for a good few years, and then I did see some YouTube videos highlight this game as well as a potentially not only a hidden gem, but something that is obscure and is increasing in value. Definitely more on the American side. If you're able to track down a copy of this in the UK, CEX currently sell it for approximately £22, and I've not checked eBay, so I will show some comps as to what this is going for. This one has rocketed in value in America, so I don't think the PAL region will be too far behind. I don't think this one's going to be available for very long. If you can snag a copy at the £20 price mark, definitely do it, or you're probably going to have a very difficult time finding this one in the future. And there we have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. It's been a little while since I did an Xbox video, so if you want to see me cover any types of other topics on the 360, if you want me to cover specific genres of games, you know, I'm more than happy to do so. I'll need to get back and play some more titles. I've been neglected playing it a little bit recently in favour of like my PlayStation and Switch, so I will get back to it. But anyhow, if there is any recommendations or any other games you think I should keep an eye out for myself, if I already have them, of course I'll let you know. But yeah, if you like the video, please do like, share and subscribe. It helps a ton, just sharing visibility of the video, and it makes that algorithm and all that happy, so please do it. It'd be much appreciated. And yeah, of course, I do appreciate if you're watching the video this far, and I will catch you in next week's video. Thanks and goodbye.